Woohoo! Dinosaur time! It's Kids Quilt Day for me. I found those panels of dinosaurs and I just thought it was a fun thing to do today to pull out some colorful scraps and make some kids' quilts with a panel of dinosaurs. I found purples and yellows, reds and greens and orange. I found some orange too. And I thought I just put all the colors together and see what happens. They're all just pieces out of the scraps. Then what I did is I sorted the dinosaurs. Some of the panel was already cut up and used, and so I just cut the rest of the dinosaurs out, leaving a bit of a border around the outside so that I could sew them into the new quilt. And I also found in my orphan blocks 5 pieces that were 10 by 40 blocks of turquoise and white. And I thought, oh, good, that's going to be the background for one of the quilts. It's going to be a quieter quilt, a more reserved family might like that one rather than using all the colors. And I picked out some of the dinosaurs that would sort of live with that turquoise color. And then I put some of the more colorful ones into the other quilt. And I started making the turquoise one first because it seemed to be a bit easier. And it was pretty easy. I'm doing a voiceover, so my lips aren't going to match what the video has because I was standing too far away and you couldn't hear me from the original video. So I just took the voice out. I'm voicing over. But anyway, I used one of the panels across the top, one down each side, and one across the bottom, which left a big open rectangle in the center. And I only could fit 4 dinosaurs into the center rectangle. But I did have one extra panel of the turquoise piecing around the outside, so I cut it apart and used 2 of the blocks as fillers and some of the other block just to fill in the spaces in the center rectangle. And, I really like this one. I picked out 4 dinosaurs that sort of blended into the color scheme of turquoise. It's a reserved quilt. It's nice, and I like it. Now, going on to the second one, here is where I used all the colors. I always gather a lot of scraps before I actually make the item, but here you can see the 2 finished ones side by side. The colorful one on the right-hand side, I started by sewing strips around each of the dinosaurs. And I just picked randomly something that would look nice. And sometimes I put the same thing on a side and a top. Sometimes I put 4 different colors around it. But I started by just building them up a little bit to make them fill in the spaces. And I found that because I only used 4 of the dinosaurs in the first quilt, I had a lot more dinosaurs to put into the second quilt. So I did a little sneaky thing. I appliqued 4 of the dinosaurs on the surface after I had sewn the piecing parts together. I just left big spaces of color so that I could put those dinosaurs on the surface. And it worked out fine. I think the ones that I pieced in were good fillers. I used color very strategically. So you will see that there's 3 orange sections, there's 3 red sections, there's 3 sections of black and white in the colorful one, and they all worked really well. When I sewed the pieces all together, I did leave big big spaces of fabric that I could applique some of the dinosaurs on top. And when I appliqued them on top, I did it with my sewing machine. I folded the edges under and I pinned them on the surface and I zigzagged around the outsides. And, it's a kid's quilt. It's going to be fine. The dinosaurs are looking happy and fun. The ones that are pieced in place all have nice seams, and the ones that are appliqued on are still happy. So that's my day. Now off to pin basting.